Yo, yo, yo. It's D.Arthur in the building. I'm speaking to you guys today about women smell these pheromones on semen retention. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you click on the link in the description down below and check out the end-to-end presentation I have put together called the High Value Blueprint. This is an intensive 8 to 16 week custom coaching program that tailors your needs to transform you from a man who's complacent, lack of purpose, unmotivated to a more motivated, fulfilled version of yourself. So check that down in the description down below. I'm already working with a few people already. Now, women can smell the pheromones on semen retention, and this is why they're attracted to you. Now, anybody who tells you that just because you're going to be on semen retention and then somehow you're just going to get woman attraction, they're probably, more often than not, they're lying to you. Now, the reason why this is because men, usually the beginners and people who are usually just thinking that they don't have to put in any work and then they can go on semen retention and somehow just magically attract all of these women. It's just not the case. They're going to sell you a bag of goods. The YouTube algorithm favors woman attraction, semen retention, as a lot of their views. So, I mean, that's usually what happens. But if you've put yourself in a place where you've become a better version of yourself, you're just more you've at least, for example, let's just talk about hygiene. You're getting regular routine haircuts, you're having a skincare routine, you're just doing all of these things to make yourself look better. You're going to have more woman attraction. And when you combine this, actually doing the work of your life, and you combine this with no FAP, semen retention per se, you're going to become a lot more attractive, and you're going to get more woman attraction. Women are going to be near to you. They're going to do this thing called a proximity flirt. Let me tell you about the proximity flirt. What I can tell you, the truth in my experience, is usually when I have put myself together and I've gone routine haircuts, grooming, skincare, all these things, more oftentimes than not, women will do this thing called a proximity flirt, where they're not gonna directly come and speak to you, but they're going to put themselves. And there have been some times where women have you know went out of their feminine energy frame and went into their masculine energy and directly approach me or talk to me. Now, this is not to brag. This is not to even come across as arrogant. This is what I'm telling you, is some of these things can happen to you when you've put yourself together. Grooming, hygiene, all these things. And they're going to do a proximity flirt, which means they're going to come near you. They're going to come near you, and now it's up to you to progress the interaction and carry on the interaction. But guys, sometimes they don't do it. This is why nothing happens. There's going to be a proximity flirt. You have to put out bait. You put out bait first by your appearance, how you look, and then whoever finds you attractive, they're going to come near you, and all you have to do is carry on the interaction. This is all it is. It really comes down to appearance, at least at the physical appearance at the beginning. If you want to get your foot in the door, physical appearance is the most important thing, because you can have the game. I seen dudes. There's obviously there's these cold approach videos all over the internet, and what I usually see is mostly the more attractive looking guy who who looks physically put together, at least, regardless of what he says, is going to come across way harder than a man who has not physically put in the work. This is just how it is. So knowing this, you might as well put in the work on yourself to at least become a viable option. Now, the title of this video is called Woman Attraction Happens Because These Pheromones Develop on Semen Retention. You are going to get pheromones galore. You're going to get a lot of pheromones, especially when you've worked out and you're on semen retention, you're on no fap. You're going to get a lot of pheromones, a lot of these choose me signals. And now you're just going to come across as more attractive. The bottom line is you are going to come across as more attractive, and you are going to become more attractive on semen retention. And this is how you're going to at least get your foot in the door. Now, if you don't work on yourself, if you're not putting in any physical work, and you just think that you're going to go on semen retention and somehow you're just going to get all this woman attraction, you're more likely that's more of a hope instead of strategy. There has to be some strategy behind what you're doing, and usually the man who has put himself together is usually going to be the person who at least gets his foot in the door, and then all you have to do is speak to her and not be a complete weirdo. This is exactly how it is. A lot of the reason why woman attraction happens is because you guys have a conversation. You have to have a conversation. You have to physically put in the work, physically look the part, and then have a conversation with her. And usually, more often than not, you come across as charismatically confident. The woman attraction there. Now, woman attraction happens because these pheromones develop on semen retention. I am looking at the title so I can remember the title because it is a long one. What happened is this happened to me recently. I was in the supermarket, and I was doing my groceries. Now there's this girl there who I've seen multiple times. I haven't really said anything to her, but there could be some attraction. Now and she probably sensed this. So when I was leaving, she made it out of her way to pretty much walk exactly where I was leaving to. And this was the easiest way to start a conversation. You have to realize the proximity flirt. This will happen to you a lot when you have put in the grooming on yourself and you are more focused and you're on no fap. You're giving off masculine energy. You're giving off good energy. You look physically good presenting. And now it's easier. It's a cakewalk for you. I cannot stress enough how physically looking the part is going to be your easiest way to woman attraction if that's what you're looking for. Physically looking the part. Because like I said before, there's guys who have not put any work on themselves. They're not grooming. They're not taking care of their skin. They don't have any hygiene. They're not doing any of these things. And then, but they're on semen retention. So they still think they're entitled to women. And this is just not the case. You can go on semen retention for 90 plus days and you cannot hit the gym once and you're not going to feel any effects. You're going to be more prone to relapse because you're sitting on extra energy and it's not going anywhere. You have to transmute the energy through your physical activity, your brain matter, your business, all these things. You have to transmute the energy that has been conjured up. So when you're going to develop these pheromones after you've been putting the work in physically and you look the part. You're going to develop these pheromones, and now you're going to have woman attraction. They're going to, more likely than not for most guys, they're going to do the proximity flirt. There are some girls who are going to be bold enough to start a conversation with you. They probably usually are more interested in you. So you have to take the opportunity when it comes. And this is it. There's a lot of guys who, like I said, they're selling you a bag of goods. They're selling, go on semen retention 90 plus days, but don't do any work. Don't do anything else to improve yourself. And all of a sudden, you're going to get all of these results in life. And really, that is not the case. You have to be focused. Focus plus no fap equals you becoming your most magnetic version. But there's guys who have no results, who are not physically putting the work in, and they're still questioning whether if they should be fapping or not. They're debating whether if no fap or fapping is the best thing for them. And you have to realize this: the common man is debating whether they should stop fapping or not. Meanwhile, your competition already knows that they should probably stop fapping, put in the work, and get the results. Your competition is doing the things that they need to do, and your fellow common man is sitting there thinking about what they should do while your competition is taking the action. This is all I have to say. When you go on semen retention, when you physically put in the work on yourself, you're going to get more woman attraction regardless. And now there's going to be a proximity flirt. Remember, this one thing is proximity flirt. Women are going to come near you, walk in your direction, bump into you, do all of these things to get your attention. Now, all of a sudden, all you have to do is close and finish. All you have to do is humanized interaction, and more likely than not, it's actually going to go somewhere. But this does not happen unless you put in the work. Now, if you want help with putting in the work, you might want a coach. You want a one-on-one person, accountability coach, someone who can keep you accountable, someone who can check up on you, someone who can tailor to your needs to get you a result that you've been always wanting, accountability. Then click on that link in the description below and get onboarded with us today. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in the next one.